that awesome leak for the Mini, DJI Mini 3. I'm going to talk about that, what's going on with the leak with the DJI Mini 3. I do not have a DJI Mini 3 because it's not out on the market yet, but I do have a DJI Mini number 2. And so I have, have a lot of respect for this bird. It is fantastic. It's the most reliable drone that I have that is self-stabilized and all that stuff. So I really like this one. And I'm hoping that the DJI Mini 3 is as good as this image that was leaked out. Because if it is, well, I would love to get my hands on one of them. But anyway, let's talk about some of these images that came out. You guys get to see here. There's this one and this one. So I'm going to explain to you guys. You have these two. You have this one here has been leaked out, as well as this one here. As you can see, they're pretty different, but they do have some similarities too. And over here, I've made this whole sheet here to show you guys a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to talk about all of this stuff too, because these are a bunch of other drones that are in competition with the DJI Mini 3. And we can talk about some of that stuff too. But anyway, for visual reference as well, I've made this slightly larger one here so you guys can see the picture. You guys can see this picture here too, which is nice and big, so it's easier to see some of the details. But anyway, let's go through some of the things that I think have been happening. So first of all, I found this image over here that you'll see right there. This image that you see right here is one of the ones that was leaked out, but there's a lot of problems with this image here, and I'll show you exactly what that means. So if you look over here at the bottom, let me see, I think this is right here on the bottom here. This is the original Mini 2, the original DJI Mini. And if you look at that one and you look at this one here, you'll notice that they're pretty much exactly the same. And also, let's see if I can open this up. You notice how I open those that way and these open up this way, right? That's pretty standard for all the minis. So these bits will open up like this and these bits will open up like that. And that is the same thing that you're gonna see here in this picture. If you see this picture down here, I'll show you guys on here too. If you see this picture over here, you'll notice that the motors will open the same way. But in the leaked picture over here, it looks like it is reversed. If you look over here, you'll notice that they're trying to open the motors in reverse. And for DJI to make that kind of change would be a significant issue, especially because, like if it isn't broke, right? If it isn't broken, don't fix it, right? And this system that they've had for so many years of just being able to open the rear ones this way and this one like that has worked so well, then I don't think it makes sense for them to change that at all in their Mini 2 unless they've got some kind of strange reason. And also, if they were to reverse these to put these ones that turn in the front and put those in the rear, I'm not sure how that would work. It would be a little bit complicated, and I don't see why that would be a good thing, especially because of how this Mini is already set up. If you wanted to put sensors and stuff, it's perfectly fine just as is. Why would you want to put the sensors in a different position or anything like that and change how the things open they are? I mean, that's one of the best features of this and why they've suddenly put this rotating part here in the front. And if you look at this image over here, it looks like it rotates in the front. You see this bit right there and this bit right there. I'll show you guys on this part over here. It looks like this part in the front would rotate downward in a sort of swooping action like that. That doesn't make sense. That is not something that I would do if I was working at DJI, right? DJI has very limited time to create the next model, and it should be coming out soon. So why would they re-engineer something that works so well, such as this part and this part? I don't think so. So this image here that was leaked out over here has it reversed, with the front being able to turn that way, while it's in the real thing, it's in the back. I don't think that's something that they would do. They do have these new obstacle avoidance things in the front, and that makes sense because if you look at all the other images there, a lot of the other competitors have started to put those obstacle avoidance systems, such as this one here, you see. That looks very much like those. And the Autel also has the same thing. So if you guys see in here, this is an Hubsan Mini Pro, and this is an Autel over here. And if you guys can see that, in both cases, they put obstacle avoidance sensors in the same place as they would the Mini 3. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. So if you see here, this Mini 3, the newest leak, has an open space on the top. So I'll show you guys. It has an open space over here on the top in between the sensors. And that, my friends, means that they are planning to make this so that the camera there is able to see up. Now, let me show you on the DJI Mini 2, that would be impossible. On the DJI Mini 2 here, that would be impossible because this whole piece of plastic over here would be covering. But in the leaked image, what you see is they've cut out a piece, a round piece there. So the camera would then be able to see whatever is on top of the drone. And that would be a great feature. And I think the only other drone that has that feature is what you see here. Is the Parrot and Nafi. This version here would have the same ability, because you see how they cut that area there, and also in this leaked image over there. So the camera would be able to swoop up and see things on top of the drone, and that, my friends, would be a great feature. And so definitely, I think that part is something that we may see in the next version. So the Mini 3 might have that swoop area there. You see in this leaked image too. So the camera can look above, because you want to be able to compete with the Parrot Nafi, and there is nothing under 250 grams right now that can see on top of the drone like that. None of the cameras out there. Hubsan doesn't have it, Fimi doesn't have it, Autel doesn't have the ability to see on top of the drone. So to have a camera that could do that, that could look up and see above the drone, would be awesome. So I think that's something that they're going to put in the Mini 3, and if they don't, they're going to shoot themselves in the foot, because that would be a feature that would really push that drone ahead of everyone else. So I think that these leaked images, especially because it's pretty obvious there that they've cut out an area so that that camera can see whatever is above the drone, as you guys just saw there, and you guys can see there. I'll show it again here. That swooping would allow the camera to look all the way up, which would be great. Then on this leaked image here that I saw, also, it looks like they may have obstacle avoidance sensors on the side of the drone. And if you look at the original Mini 2 here, there's plenty of space for them to attach a round camera or some kind of other sensor on the side. So it's perfectly plausible that they may have obstacle avoidance on side to side, because one of the biggest issues when you're flying these drones is though, you know, especially if you're more advanced, you won't bump into things forward, and you may not bump into things backwards because you can see that in your line of sight. But if you're trying to shoot somebody like that's on a bike or something like this, and you're following them sideways, you may not always be able to see the drone, and you could slam into a wall or a tree because you're focused on your own screen. You have your screen on your phone or whatever on the remote control, and you're looking at that. So you're seeing what the camera is seeing up front, and you don't have to worry about hitting something in the back. And the drone is going this way, and not having obstacle avoidance on the side just ruins your shot, and you might That's actually the only time that I ever crashed this thing. Luckily, it did not break. It only basically just touched a branch, and it was fine after that. Luckily, I was able to bring it back, but it could have fallen in the lake. So there's a video of that on the channel, on the YouTube channel, that you guys can go check out. So I'm not making this stuff up. It is better if they do put a obstacle avoidance sensors. In fact, the better pilots will tell you that they don't care so much about having the obstacle avoidance in the front because their camera is always looking at the front. They can see what's going on. But having it in the rear and the side is far more valuable, as well as being able to point that camera up to see what's on top is more valuable for advanced pilots that are trying to get really good shots. Also because this way, if you are flying underneath something, you can get a nice shot of what's going on top, like if you're doing buildings and stuff like that. There's all kinds of things that the Parrot and Nafi, for instance, is beating the DJI Mini on. And so it really makes sense for this one to be the real leaked image of the DJI Mini as opposed to the other one. And I'll show you guys the other one that's been out there. So this is the one that everybody's been looking at, but I don't think it's realistic. And I explained a bunch of the reasons why. And I think this one is more realistic for the other reasons that I explained before. So you guys can see that again. This one, again, as I explained before, this one has what would be a swooping or a rotating thing. They basically switched that over so that this would be in the front. And I don't know why you would do that, because part of the good thing about these drones is that you don't see the props in view. And I think that if you were to put these swooping ones in the front, that might end up being your rotators here, your propellers might end up in the shot. So I doubt DJI would do that. That's more like for FPV. People who love FPV would want to have something like that. But people who like use these camera drones to make beautiful, smooth footage and shots would not want to have the props in view. And so therefore that doesn't make sense at all in that image there. So yeah, I personally believe that this image here that has been leaked is more accurate and more likely to be what is going to be the new Mini 3. Also because, as I said before, a lot of the other companies, if you look at Hubsan here, they're going for that more of a round swooping thing in the top there. Autel has the same kind of thing going on in the front. So the obstacle avoidance sensors will most likely be put there. You see this Autel over here, Hubsan over here. You will see that the old ones, like the Fimi, do not have that. You see the old, this is the original Mini 1, and the Fimi also has this kind of thing up there, but you can tell that it doesn't have obstacle avoidance. And therefore, if DJI wants to compete with Autel and wants to compete with Hubsan and the Parrot and Nafi, I think it makes sense that they would allow for the camera to be able to swoop up, like in this drawing here in this leaked image, as well as have some obstacle avoidance sensors on the side, which is perfectly plausible because there's plenty of space there. And therefore, I think this is more of a realistic drawing of what the DJI Mini 3 is going to look like, as opposed to the other one, which I think doesn't make sense because, again, you know, there's limited time. There's limited time for these companies to come out with something new and spectacular to beat their competition. And if you're going to go out there and beat the competition, you want to keep something that's under 250 grams. You want to have something that's valuable, that's easy to engineer and put into things. And you don't want to be reinventing the whole wheel, right? You don't want to recreate the whole thing, all the good stuff that's already working fine, like how to fold a drone. Why would you even touch that? That is something that all the other companies are copying DJI. Why would they change that, right? That doesn't make sense. they would want to, you know, add that feature, as I said before, the paradigmatically, so the ability for the camera to look up past this area, have a nice cut there so that they can see above. That would be a feature, right, that all us enthusiasts would want to have, as well as obstacle avoidance sensors on the side, because especially you know, if you want to get some buttery smooth footage and stuff and you're trying to track something sideways, that is something that you really can't control. And you know, even the expert pilots would want to have is the side obstacle avoidance, because you are so focused, as you know, as a camera person, in what you're seeing from the front. And if you're flying sideways, you want to have something there to tell you, hey, watch out, you're going to hit a tree. So anyway, that's my opinion on that. I strongly believe that this leaked image is going to be what you're going to see very soon when the DJI Mini 3 is going to come out. And if they do that, well, you know, I'm definitely going to want one, because that is the one thing that I find annoying on the DJI Mini 2, and I never had the Mini 1, but probably wouldn't have bought it for the same reason, is no obstacle avoidance on the sides. That's what I need, and no ability to see things above the drone. Anyway, there we have it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little live stream that I put together for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the visuals that I put together so you guys could see what's been going on and what I found. The leaked image, which I think is not true. It's not really the one that's going to be the 3, and the one that I think is most likely to look like the 3 too. Also because, you know, as I said before, I don't think DJI wants to reinvent the wheels. They want to keep the things that worked for their clients, that their clients love, and just add features that would make things even better. I'm pretty sure that they're probably going to make the camera a little bit better because they want to beat Autel. But, you know, if they're not putting a lens that's as cool as whatever the newest lens that's on the Autel Mini Plus, they won't be able to, you know, beat them on that. So at least they might have those other features that I mentioned before. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed the show. I'm pretty sure at this point that when the Mini 3 is released, it'll have those features. If it doesn't, they're shooting themselves in the foot. I said it here first on the Marco Reviews channel, YouTube, and obviously now Likey and Big O Live. And then there we have it. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Oh, right before I leave you guys, I forgot to tell you that, yes, we did fix the eSheen, so the eSheen will be back in the air soon. If anybody wants to get themselves a shirt from the RC Sailors, you can do that. I'm wearing the Captain Drone, the loved Captain Drone shirt here, and hopefully we'll get the Captain Drone mobile back up and running too. So stay tuned for all that. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys. There we have it. I don't know how blurry it came out here on YouTube, but you know, what can you do? What can you do? So just to reiterate what's going on here, what we have here is the original Mini from DJI is right here, and you can see how similar it is to the DJI Mini 2. So why would the 3 be so different with, you know, the arms opening up backwards? I don't think so. This is more realistic right here, as I said before, because what you really want, as I said before, is the ability for your camera to be able to look up and some obstacle avoidance sensors on the side. That is what most of the enthusiasts who shoot videos and stuff like that on these minis is going to really want, to provide better safety and more long-lasting drones that won't crash. And yeah, so as I said before, that would be in competition with the Parrot Anafi, which already has this feature on it, but it is over 250 grams. So if the DJI adopted that, they would be the only one in its class with reliable flight to do that. You see Autel Mini Plus and the Hubsan Mini Pro both have the obstacle avoidance sensors there, same as the DJI Mini 3 should have. So there you go. Have fun, guys. Have a great day. Hope you guys enjoyed this DJI Mini 3 leak image, and I hope you guys agree that this is most likely to be what you're going to see unless DJI decides to shoot themselves in the foot and not do that. But I don't think so. I think that DJI is a very smart company, and they'll probably want to put those features in. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.